Hello, and welcome to another episode of Adamo Baseball, where I'm your host, Adamo. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the San Francisco Giants. A lot of upside, a lot of downside, and as I was talking about yesterday, I was questionable at first as whether or not I wanted to put the Giants fourth or if I wanted to put the Diamondbacks fourth. And ultimately, I decided to go ahead and give the Giants the nod for the third spot in the division. This is a really hard team to get a grip on because there is a lot of young talent here, and they have a surprisingly good bullpen. Their rotation is awful. They got guys that are 1 and 2 that should be 4 and 5. Well, one of them's not, but still. And their lineup is a lot of unproven commodities. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the lineup, as I usually do. And you be the judge. Leading off, Tommy LaStella, third base. He's actually played like 7 seasons thus far, but he's never played a full season. He made the All-Star game once with the Angels, but he only played 80 games that year. So I really can't get a handle on him. His walk-to-strikeout ratio actually isn't bad, especially for a leadoff guy. And he'll get on base, which is kind of the point. You don't see a lot of third basemen leading off, but of what I've seen, it looks like he actually is a pretty decent leadoff guy. He's probably not going to make the All-Star game again, but it'd be nice to see if he can make it through a full season, starting. Batting second, Donovan Solano, second base. I had never heard of this guy, but he also has been playing in the league for about 7 years. And he also, much like Tommy LaStella, hasn't really played a full season. I think he made the All-Star game once. I could be mistaken on that. But it looks like he's a pretty decent player too. So, maybe. Third, this is the one everyone's excited about. Mike Yastrzemski, right fielder. Grandson of the esteemed Hall of Famer and guy who led the Red Sox to the World Series in 1967, Carl Yastrzemski. Mike, it looks like, is just as good as Grandpa. He also happens to be the one home run hitter on this team, because you look at this team top to bottom, they really don't have that. Mike made his Major League Baseball debut in 2019. I actually got to see him that year at Camden Yards. And there's definitely a lot of potential there, and I would love to see that guy succeed. I don't care where he is, as long as he's not a Yankee. Honestly, there's a lot to look up to, and he played, or I think he was an August or September call-up. I think it was a mid-season call-up actually in 2019. He's already got 21 home runs under his belt, and that's including the shortened season last year. No, it was halfway through because he had 22 home runs for about half the season, maybe 2/3. Maybe he played longer than I thought. But he had like 22 home runs in 2019, and he had 10 last year in a 60-game season. So, yeah, there's a lot to like here. Batting fourth, Alex Dickerson, left field. He doesn't have a lot of playing time thus far. Looks like he's only played a couple of years. So, again, maybe, I don't know. I don't really know what necessarily to expect from Alex Dickerson. Batting fifth, catcher, Buster Posey. Okay, so I went ahead and looked at his stuff just to see if I was being a bit too hard on him. I've been a bit too hard on him over the years. I thought maybe he was just overrated. No, he actually has been playing up to the standard that they set for him. He's made the All-Star game 6 times since his rookie year in 2010. He won Rookie of the Year, by the way, and a World Series that year. He won the MVP the second time he won the World Series, and he's been to 6 All-Star games. So, maybe I've been a bit too hard on him, and he's got 3 World Series rings. He played like 7 games in 2009, but that's not official rookie stats. Yeah, okay, I've been too hard on him. Batting 6th, Brandon Belt, first base. So he was a huge portion of that 2012 and 2014 team, or both of those teams, that won both those World Series. So he's definitely got the experience. As far as his career goes, he's been a bit up and down, and he's about where he should be in the lineup. Batting 7th, Brandon Crawford, shortstop. He's a little more consistent. He's definitely a better shortstop, and he's not the best. He's not the best hitter, but he is pretty good at what he does. So, yeah, he's there. Batting 8th, Mauricio Dubon, center field. This is another young guy who's only been in the league for a couple of years, so there's really not a lot to go on. The lineup, all the way top to bottom, either you've played 7+ seasons or you've played 2 or fewer. That's why it's really hard to get a handle on this team. You don't really know what you're going to get. There's either a ton of experience or almost none. So you like to see veterans being able to bring up the younger generation, but at the same time, you don't know what you're going to get. The rotation, however, this is actually when it gets kind of scary. Not scary good, scary. Their number 1 guy in their rotation is Kevin Gausman. I've been critical of him. It's for a reason. He's not that great. He's had good seasons, don't get me wrong, but he's not an ace. He does not belong 1 in your rotation. He belongs 4, honestly. A low-end 3. Not a mid-tier 3, a low-end 3. So really, he should not be the guy in the rotation. Pitching second, Johnny Cueto. He's had about the most inconsistent career you can imagine. He finished second in the Cy Young voting in 2014 for the Cincinnati Reds. I originally thought he won it. I went back and looked. He finished second. 2015, he gets signed by traded for by the Royals at the deadline. He has one of the most inconsistent seasons I've ever seen, and then lights it up in October, helps them win a World Series. And then signed with San Francisco in the 2015-2016 offseason, and has been a giant ever since. He's had good years since he's been in San Francisco, but you really don't know what version of Johnny Cueto you're going to get. So maybe he's about a 3. Third in the rotation, Anthony DeSclafani. I know I covered him last year when I was talking about the Reds. I actually remember this. Beforehand, I just remembered the weird name. Now I actually remember covering him. He's not your ace. He's not the guy you necessarily want leading your rotation, but he probably is the best current pitcher the Giants have, and frankly, I'd put him at the top. I would. Fourth, Aaron Sanchez. He's actually not bad. He's, of what I read, he actually could be a good pitcher. He's one that you could actually put higher up in the rotation, and I don't know that anyone would really have any issues with that. And then pitching fifth, Alex Wood. Recently, he's actually done better. So maybe you can bump him up higher in the rotation. Though, on this rotation, you've got guys that have been stars in the past, but are well past their prime. Alex Wood, he's been in for, this is his 15th season. He's past his prime. Johnny Cueto's past his prime. Gosman, I don't know, ever had one. DeSclafani, I think he's past his too. Aaron Sanchez, it looks like, is about to come into his own. So really, this rotation, I wouldn't bank on it. Their bullpen is a lot better. Their closer, Jake McGee, he's gotten better as the years have gone on. He's been in the league for, I think, 10 or 12 years now. He's only been a closer a couple of times, and MLB.com's the one that said that he's going to be the closer. RotoChamp said that it's Tyler Rogers. But Jake McGee, like a fine wine, has gotten better with age. So really, he could be a guy that we should be looking out for this season. He could be a legit all-star this year. Their bullpen, Tyler Rogers, Matt Wisler, and Reyes Moronta. Those are three guys that are actually pretty good. Pretty good and pretty consistent throughout their careers. So if the Giants are competing for a playoff spot, I don't necessarily know that they want to try to move forward this year. But if they're, say my projection for the NL East is wrong, and only one team out of theirs good, and then you got whoever's coming out of the mess that is the NL Central, and the Giants are competing, we may want to take a step back and look at San Francisco as maybe a competitor, and they may want to trade for better starters or younger starters. Though I wouldn't necessarily project that for this year. I think they're a year away from being a year away. They won their 3 titles at the beginning of the 2010s, and I don't necessarily think that it's going to be for a while before they're truly competitive for another crown. And I think that if the Diamondbacks don't finish 500 or as high as 500, I think the Giants will. Realistically, I think that they're both about 500 level teams, and I think the Giants are just a little bit better because of just more consistency, I guess, hitting. And a stronger bullpen. They both have strong bullpens, but I think the Giants' bullpen is just a bit stronger, so I think that that'll carry them a little bit more. And those are my thoughts on the San Francisco Giants. And if you'd like to let me know your thoughts, you can do so down in the comments below. Or if you're listening on my podcast, come over to my YouTube channel and let me know in the comments below. Or you can let me know on my Instagram, Adamo_baseball. With that being said, thank you for watching and listening. Cheers until next time.